96 houses. 96 families. All of them built on my land, and I didn't even know it until it was too late. While I was spending sleepless nights in a hospital waiting room watching my father slip away, the HOA president bulldozed 500 acres of our legacy and turned it into a suburban utopia. What she didn't know was that I'd spent 10 years sharpening my legal instincts in some of Chicago's most ruthless firms, and I was about to use every ounce of that knowledge against her. The trap I laid was quiet. Flawless. She walked into it smiling, wearing designer heels and clutching her clipboard like a queen surveying her empire. By the time she realized I had turned her own weapons against her, the handcuffs were already closing. And that was only the beginning. As I drove my old pickup down the dusty Texas road, Duke, my golden retriever, laid his head on my lap. Grief sat heavy in my chest. The sun was setting, painting the sky the same colors I remembered from fishing trips with Dad. I pulled over at the pond, the spot where he taught me patience with a fishing rod in hand. The photo of us from 28 years ago sat on the dash, a frozen memory of joy. That pond, that tire swing, the oak tree, all of it was ours. And now I feared it was gone. When I reached the bend near our property, I slammed the brakes. Row after row of manicured homes stood where fields once lay. A gleaming stone sign read, Paradise Heights, a premium HOA community. I blinked, thinking it had to be a mistake. I had only been gone 3 months. But the truth was staring me in the face. I drove through the neighborhood, every house a gut punch. I saw children riding bikes on pavement where horses used to roam. Sprinklers danced where cattle grazed. Where our old farmhouse had been, a clubhouse now stood. And there, measuring grass with a ruler, stood Paul Mitchell with a clipboard. "Excuse me," I called as I got out. "This is Donovan land." "What is all this?" Paul squinted at me, nose scrunched in officious disdain. "Sir, this is private property. Paradise Heights requires a visitor's pass." "Visitor's pass? On my land?" I barked. My voice trembled with disbelief and fury. "Your grass exceeds 2.75 inches. That violates our community standard," Paul replied. He was utterly unfazed. 2 guards arrived. Kevin, one of them, recognized me. "Mr. Donovan, I'm sorry about your dad. But HOA policy." HOA policy. That's what they called trespassing on my own land. As they escorted me out, I saw at the old oak tree. A notice was stapled to its trunk. Scheduled for removal Monday. Something in me broke. I dropped to my knees, hands on the bark. The carving was still there, MD. Plus JD. Marcus and James Donovan. My voice cracked. "Dad. I just lost you. I can't lose this too." That's when I heard the purr of a Lexus engine. Out stepped a woman in a white suit and heels that clicked like a countdown. Her icy gaze met mine. "Mr. Donovan, I presume," she said. Her tone was pure silk over steel. "Becca Thornton." She smirked. "The unemployed lawyer crawling home to Texas. How quaint." "This land is mine," I growled. "It was abandoned," she said, waving her hand like she was dismissing a gnat. "We followed legal channels. Adverse possession laws are clear." My head spun. She invited me to that evening's HOA meeting in what used to be our barn. It looked like a country club now. I walked into a room full of strangers. Becca sat at the head of a mahogany table with Paul beside her. She held a gavel. An actual gavel. "Mr. Donovan claims he owns this land," she announced. "I have deeds, tax receipts, everything," I said. "My father lived here until 3 months ago." Becca pulled out a thick folder. "Our records say it was vacant for 7 years. Adverse possession applies." Paul added, "Millions have been invested here. You can't just claim it back." My legal instincts stirred. Something was wrong. I'd paid taxes every year. Then Becca said, "Receipts can be forged. You should know that." How did she know about Chicago? "Your father moved to a nursing home in 2016, she added. "We have the documents." I felt faint. Dad had spent 2 months in rehab after a stroke, not 7 years. Could paperwork have been altered? Had I missed something in the rush of signing hospital forms? "You have 30 days, Becca said. "Then you'll be considered a trespasser." As I stumbled outside, I went to the old dock at the pond. Duke joined me, his head pressed to my side. "I don't know how to fight this," I whispered. That's when Carlos Rivera appeared, holding a laptop. My dad worked for your grandfather, he said. I hacked Becca's email. She's done this before. He showed me emails, photos, old articles. She used to be Rebecca Thompson, a New York developer ruined by the 2008 crash. Her husband, James Crawford, divorced her afterward. She'd reinvented herself as a real estate predator, targeting grieving men and their land. The next day, I went to the old shed and found a box labeled Market Papers. Inside was Grandpa's journal and a letter. This land shall remain in Donovan hands until 2030. Sale before that is null. Dorothy Hawkins, my old neighbor, showed up. Brought coffee and her parrot, Charlie. She'd been watching Becca for years. She's $50 million in debt to a Chinese bank. Needs your land as collateral. Carlos called again. Paul wasn't just a puppet, he was blackmailed. Lost custody of his daughter and was promised 5% profits if he helped Becca. That night, Paul showed up near the oak tree. He shoved an envelope into my hand. I can't keep doing this. My daughter's picture, I haven't seen her in 2 years. Inside were damning documents. The signature dates on Becca's filings didn't match. I was back in the fight. I'd on my best suit and arranged a meeting. Told Becca I wanted to invest. She bit intrigued. Claimed a resort company would buy the development for $300 million if she had the full land. She tested me, signed the oak tree removal. I did, with my left hand. Grandpa taught me ambidexterity for a reason. That night, Carlos and I dug deeper. Paul had stored duplicates in a bank vault. Becca had forged records, blackmailed staff, and planned to evict everyone through HOA fines. At a fancy dinner with Sunset International and her ex-husband James Crawford, Becca tried to humiliate me. I surprised them all. Actually, I'm increasing my investment to $5 million contingent on seeing original documents. I exposed the fake signature. James laughed. Becca panicked. She tried to weaponize my past with an email from my old boss. I countered with a bluff about a $3 million missing fund. Just then, FBI agents walked in. Rebecca Thornton, you're under arrest. Paul had made the call. He turned over everything. And in that moment, I saw her mask crack. Jamie, I did it for us, she whispered. James simply said, you were always enough. In court, she confessed everything. Told the truth for the first time. Got 5 years. I watched her leave in cuffs but not hatred. Paradise Heights dissolved. Families were compensated. My land was returned and became the Harold Donovan Memorial Park. Carlos became a lawyer. Dot became a property rights advocate. Paul reunited with his daughter and started an HOA watchdog group. Even James donated his fortune to rebuild lives. 5 years later, I received a letter from Becca. She was teaching inmates to read. Apologized for everything. You saved my soul, she wrote. Redemption begins with truth. I sat by the lake, Duke by my side, the oak tree strong as ever. What was once stolen had become something greater. We turned a trap into a triumph. And that's how even an Iron Queen can learn to bend.